Hey, fam gamer back. We're gonna react to Trash Taste. So, I'm gonna watch this video. Sorry if I cut you off, Connor, with my webcam. I apologize. Like, I feel bad doing that, but you know, I need to see my face. I need the viewers to see my beautiful face. Okay, so here we go.
I imagine if you're trying to find a new apartment in Japan, you'd hope that like the realtor was a simp, so that they'd probably make getting a house in Japan a little easier. Because I don't know, have you had difficulty getting an apartment in Japan?
I did.
Oh my fucking god, it's so difficult. It's like they want you to go through so many loopholes to see if you can pay. I mean, because I don't understand, like, how is it that you rent a place and you can run away and go back to America and not pay? Like, how does that work? You know, I mean, I wasn't here, you know, the 70s and 80s. I wouldn't know what happened, you know, during that time, but it's so fucking difficult. I was surprised that I got my first apartment, but, you know, my wife wasn't in Japan for, I'm sorry. My wife didn't pay her taxes for a long time because she's freelance. So they didn't have paperwork to like use to get the apartment, which was 10 times difficult. So we used her dad's info, and yeah, I'm surprised he did that for me, you know, a vampire.
Mentioned this actually on a members only stream recently. I guess I'll go into it a bit here, but basically, yeah, it's been tough as a Reaper, I would say. Right. Kind of finding an abode for me, that because as a Reaper it's a little difficult. Yeah.
Gigguk looks so uncomfortable. He's probably staring at her boobs the entire time.
You know, and you can say, I do this and this and this.
Oh yeah, they don't care.
But it doesn't really matter, does it?
Yeah.
So yeah, but the good news is it worked out in the end, and for that I am fortunate.
Yeah.
So.
That's the ironic thing, isn't it? It's like you could be like, yes, I am a multi-millionaire who makes his own money. It's like, okay, that's cool.
I would like to buy.
Do you have a uni degree though?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Do you have a uni degree? Do you speak Japanese?
Yeah.
How about this thing that you have no control over?
Yeah.
I see. Okay, well, sorry, but kindly fuck off.
So you want to buy this whole building, but you know it's all good. I just wonder if you know how to separate glass from plastic. It's just I can't.
Oh my god, that's another thing I hate about Japan. Like, they're so anal about recycling. Like, in America, if you want to recycle, you can recycle. If you don't, you don't, you know, like, but here, like, you have to do it. Like, you're obligated to do it, even if you don't give a fuck about the environment.
We don't have an English thing, by the way. Are you going to be okay?
Like, my apartment is 4 bedrooms. I don't need 4 bedrooms. I only use 2 of the bedrooms.
Yes, you're fucking lucky, you fucking punk, because my apartment was just like 2 fucking square spaces. This room was my original apartment. Like, it was half of this. Half of this was the living room, half of this was the room. Try sleeping with a baby and an old lady next to you. Like, it's so uncomfortable, you know. Like, you're lucky you have a 4-bedroom. Like, seriously, you should appreciate that. You do need space, because if you had the tiny ass apartment I had, you would probably be complaining about it, Connor. Yeah, I just had to say that. You're lucky.
Because no other apartment would accept me.
Right.
So I end up with a.
Yeah, you have no choice. I understand. You have no choice, but I would prefer that big ass apartment over that tiny microwave of an apartment. You know, so yeah, that's life, right? You know, there's so many apartments that are so fucking small in Japan. I'm like no one that's American has lived here, because every time I take a fucking shower, I used to hit my head against the fucking thing. Most annoying thing every morning, but it did wake me up to go to work when I was feeling tired in the showers. So yeah, when I had a job. Yeah, a vampire has a job.
Place with 4 bedrooms, and it looks so excessive when like people come to my like, why are 2 of the rooms not being used?
Yeah.
I'm like, I couldn't get anywhere else.
We go from I don't have enough space to put my mouth to I have 4 bedrooms and I don't need 4 bedrooms. The ultimate flex.
I have a gigantic tatami room which you can have. I don't do anything with it. I sometimes go in it. It smells really weird. Tatami. I don't like the smell of tatami.
You don't clean it. Yeah.
You gotta clean it.
How'd you clean tatami?
Yeah,
I think you throw water on it, right?
I even know that you can clean it. Like, I remember the apartment I was living in. Like, I loved that room so much. Like, I mean, I get it. Like, in the winters, it's supposed to keep the floor warm, and in the summers, it's supposed to keep the floors cool. And it really does fucking work. Like, I get why people used to sleep on those floors, just like barefoot or whatever. Back then, you know, like the samurai era, from what I've heard. I'm not really entirely sure if it's true, but yeah, I didn't know you can clean them.
Yeah, there's like special like equipment that you can use.
Like a Tommy vacuum or something.
I mean, yeah, because
you do.
Yeah, because it collects mold.
Oh my god!
I mean,
I didn't know that either.
I mean, tatami's made out of a plant, right?
Yes.
So if you don't clean it regularly,
I know that.
then it gets moldy.
How'd you
You gotta get that dehumidifier, man. That's
there's like there's different ways that like that.
Yeah, I that's one reason why I would actually buy a humidifier, because in America you don't fucking need one. Like, we have dryers, you know, to dry the clothes and shit. But in Japan, like, the dryers are in the fucking store, so you have to go outside and dry your clothes, which is really uncomfortable because it's so fucking far from your house. But the humidifier is really good for the tatami, and it's really good if you have no place to hang your clothes, because, you know, there's not a lot of windows in certain apartments, so like mold, of course. So yeah, I agree, the humidifier does really great in Japan. Like, in America you don't need that shit.
There's like certain. I mean, I've never done it.
It doesn't matter because they're charging me anyway when I leave to replace it. So
right.
Yeah.
If there's animals living in there when I leave,
I remember like
when I left, like, I remember when I first saw that tatami, it was like brand new, and then when I left, it looked like shit, and they charged me extra to like leave. So yeah, fuck Japan. I agree with you, cdawg.
the week that me and Sydney moved into our apartment, like, she stains the tatami mat within the first few days.
It's not a big fucking deal. Like, you know how many times my wife spilled something on the tatami and she panicked, like it's the Japanese thing to do, like always like overreact to something. But like, she spilled fucking pizza on it. She spilled juice, grape juice, milk, and milk, you know, when it spills like that shit really stinks. Like, you have to fucking clean that shit, because I hate the smell of milk when it dries up. But yeah, it doesn't fucking matter, man.
And we didn't realize because we had, I think we'd spilled some water over it or something.
Red Bull. I remember her.
Was it Red Bull?
Yeah, I remember her being like paranoid in the group chat, being like, "How do I clean Red Bull from the?"
She is so fucking Japanese. That's the Japanese reaction. An American person wouldn't give a fuck. Like, even if it was alcohol, and like, I hate when alcohol dries up. It fucking stinks.
Tommy man.
Yeah,
that is the most like I just moved to Japan post.
Yeah.
R/Japan life. Like, how do I get it?
because as a foreigner, you just don't know how to deal with tatami rooms, right?
Right,
I'm like, can you put furniture in here? How the fuck do we put anything in here?
Yeah,
you know?
I fucking slept in that room. I had no choice, because it was either that or the living room. And the living room was fucking cold as shit, you know, but that room was always warm, no matter what. But I had no choice. I slept in there, you know. I put the fucking futon. You can see the futon, like, right, if I could fucking, right there, you can see, like, I actually sleep on the floor. I was converted to sleep on the fucking floor, because it's not normal to have a fucking, like, an actual bed, like king size bed in your house, unless you're rich or something. Japanese people don't like beds, apparently. Only rich people like beds in Japan.
What I mean,
Have you ever lived in a tatami room?
I have, actually.
Did you like it?
Back in the day. Not really. I mean, it wasn't quite my choice, was it? Because I recall back in the day, I kind of didn't get to choose where I lived. I was moving to a new city, and they were just kind of like, okay, go here. This is your place. And I waltzed in. It was super old. The walls were actually kind of crumbling, like on the inside. There was a really ancient tatami, actually. It already had water damage, so I went ahead and water damaged it a little.
Like, I don't understand when people say, like, water damage tatami, because, like, I've done that so many times and it still looks the same when it dries up. It's like a t-shirt. Like, when it's wet, it's bad, when it dries up, it's fine. When you wash it, you know. I don't understand when people say damage. Like, I mean, I understand if you break it, like, if you use a vacuum cleaner on it, like, it starts to look really bad, from my experience. But, you know, I mean, I didn't care. Like, they were gonna clean that shit anyway when I left.
A little bit more. But actually, what I did was I was trying to figure out how to dry my clothing because I had a washer outside, and I washed my clothing there. And it was kind of my first experience in this kind of room. And I thought to myself, well, I have to hang these to dry, right? Okay.
I did the same shit, and my wife didn't care. I didn't care. Like, we dried our clothes in the same ass room because there was no fucking space. That's why you're fucking lucky, CDawg, that you had a big ass apartment. Cause my shit was so fucking small. Like, you see how big I am. Like, fuck. Like, I'm gonna hit the wall in my tiny apartment. But I actually have space now that I live in this fucking huge ass house. You know, I'm not trying to flex. I'm just saying, like, CDawg, man, you got lucky. Cause every apartment I fucking saw was fucking tiny, and I was just like, what's the point? Like, there are a few apartments that were big, but they were kind of expensive, and they were so fucking far from wherever I had to go, so I didn't like them. But my wife's brother, like, his apartment, like, he's spoiled. He's a YouTuber also, and his apartment is a condo. His dad bought it for him, and like, it's so fucking tiny. Like, you pay 1 million yen for a fucking condo and you live in a fucking closet. Like, why did you buy it? But, like, CDawg, you're lucky, seriously. I have bad experience with a tiny apartment. That's why I keep attacking you. I'm sorry, bro. We're still bros, alright? I love you, man. I don't know you, but I love you.
Hey, I'll just do it in my house. So I hung it up, and it was dripping, right? And so
no.
yeah, so I went ahead and I went to sleep, and I woke up and I thought to myself, what is that scent? What is that scent in my home? And then I looked over to the side and I looked at the dark spot on the tatami mat, and I thought, I see.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. The good news is I just kind of ran away, and that was it.
Yeah. It's your problem.
One
I never had that problem with dark spots.
thing I will say though that not many foreigners get to experience is sleeping on a futon.
Oh yeah, like in America, if you sleep on a futon, it's because you're fucking broke and you can't afford a bed, or what my mom used to say, like, you're a homeless man, you know. But in Japan, like, it's completely normal to sleep on the floor. Like, when I tell my former American friends that I sleep on the floor, like, they're just like, dude, like, buy a bed. Like, that's just weird. Like, you can't afford a bed, but you live in that big house and you still sleep on the floor. You're definitely not the man of the house, right?
And I will say, sleeping on a futon in a tatami mat room is like
nice,
it's the best night of sleep I ever get.
Yeah.
I fucking miss it. Like, I sleep in my office and it's just not the same because it's just a regular floor. But yeah.
It's not bad.
I don't know what it is about the feeling of just sleeping on the floor. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of sleeping at grandma's house or something like that.
Yeah.
I personally love tatami room.
It's like I'm sleeping in my fucking wife's parents' house. Like, for some reason, I slept the best there, even though the house was like a little bit messy.
When Grant first told me that he loved it, I was just like that meme of like, is this some peasant joke? I'm too rich to understand. Is that the meme?
Yeah. Is this some peasant joke I'm too rich to understand?
Because I have a whole tatami room. I'm like, why would I voluntarily sleep on that? I have a bed.
I don't know, man. Like, because like
I like it now. I like it.
Yeah.
Because when we go to ryokan, we're forced.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And like, you know, my grandma's house was nothing but tatami, right? Because it was in the middle of buttfuck nowhere in like the Japanese countryside, and sleep, like, just lying down on that in like on a summer day is like the best fucking nap you'll ever
I feel like it did wonders for my.
Yeah, Joey, you're right. When I used to be so busy with my life outside of YouTube, I used to fall asleep in the afternoon and sleep better in the afternoon than I did at the night, unfortunately.
My back.
Oh yes, it is good for your back.
It straightens it out. It's strange to think about that sleeping.
And that's another thing. Like, my back is much better now that I sleep on the floor than sleeping on the actual bed. I don't know why. Like, it still blows my mind.
On the floor is like more like it feels more healthy for your back and stuff than sleeping on a bed elevated.
Yeah, it is weird, right? It's kind of an oxymoronic almost.
Yeah.
That like somehow the most uncomfortable sleeping situation.
That's how humans have been sleeping for like most of.
All right, go on. Fucking
We're going back to the Neanderthal days, of sleeping on the ground.
Of course.